Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Already to throat. Let's see here. Let me get to my right pages. I hope everyone's having a great morning so far. I was checking Twitter, and Brian Eaton said that the protesters are back outside the Laundrie home. Hmm. I wonder if they will do any good. What do y'all think? Hey, Mojangles, how are you? Hey, Renee, good morning. I'm good. Hey, Lowe's, how are you? Have y'all saw this that the protesters are back outside the Landry home? That's the wrong one. Hey, Larry. I hope y'all are having a great day. I will as soon as I quit trying to knock stuff off of my table here. Oh, I'm good. I am great. Never been better. I don't think they'll do any good either, Renee. I think they're just going to cause the neighbors a bunch of headache. And honestly, I'm surprised at this point that the police are letting that continue. Because every time the protesters go out there, the police get called. It's taking the police away from investigating. You know what I mean? So it's almost like it's crossing each other out. Hey Feisty, how are you? Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. A feisty redhead. We better be careful. I just wanted to see what everyone else thought about it. It's just the way that I feel about it. I mean, I don't think they're going to do any good. Feisty, I am wonderful. It's a beautiful day here in Tennessee. Sun is shining. We got to open our eyes this morning. It's a wonderful day. Mo, thank you so much for being so quick to come in to chat. Renee, I wondered that. I wondered if doing this is even legal. And guys, think about it like this, okay? If the Landrys have not told the Northport Police Department, the Sarasota Sheriff's Department, the FBI, if they didn't answer the door for Dog the Bounty Hunter, if they didn't talk to John Walsh, what makes you think they're going to talk to someone else, to just some innocent person that just walks up with a bullhorn and stands in front of their yard screaming? Seriously, what makes you think that they're going to talk to you at this point? They have had the opportunity to talk to some of the top people in this industry. Hey Capri, hey UC Boss, what makes you think they're going to respond to you? They haven't responded to anyone else. These people have shut their mouth for the long haul. It's going to take someone more than standing at the street with a bullhorn to get these people to talk. In my opinion. Yeah, but Mo, I'm thinking you're right on that. But when does it become disturbing the peace when they're standing outside with a bullhorn at, I mean, it's 8 o'clock in the morning where I live. So it can't be any later than 9 a.m. where they are. When does that become disturbing the peace? Where I live, if you're outside somebody's house with a bullhorn at this time of the morning, you're probably going to jail for disturbing the peace. But then we kind of crazy in Tennessee anyway. I feel bad for all of their neighbors. I do, guys. I feel terrible for their neighbors. Can you imagine if, like, say, today is your only day off because not everybody works a Monday through Friday job? My son works Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What if today is their only day off for something and they get woke up to some person standing outside in the street with a bullhorn screaming at their neighbors? You got to admit, that would probably ruffle some feathers in a hurry. The neighbors probably are mad at the Landrys at this point. Who wouldn't be? If every day you thought you were going to be woke up by somebody standing in the streets or on the sidewalk with a bullhorn, oh my goodness. I have only lost it a couple of times in my house over something like that. I wouldn't be happy either, feisty redhead. I wouldn't be happy either. I remember one night, and it was a weeknight. Our neighbors on the other side decided that used to live there. They decided they were going to have a party, and it wasn't a quiet party. It was a I'm out in the front yard, drunk, screaming, saying anything I want to party. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. And my husband literally had my arm pulling me back away from the door saying, "Don't do it. Don't do it. It's fine. Don't do it. Don't get them started on you." And I opened the door and I kindly reminded them that there were people who have to sleep. Capri, it might have been fun, except my husband had to be up at 4 a.m. to go to work. My children had school the next day. Do that crap on the weekends if you want to do it. Please don't do it through the week when people have to go to work and all this other stuff. And then like the Landry, people are doing this to the Landrys. What if their neighbors? What if this is their only day off? This is not going to find Brian. That's all I'm trying to say. Their actions are not going to find Brian. It's not going to happen. I don't know what it's going to take. Oh, I'm telling you, Capri, I'd probably calling into work sick too. I'd be calling into work. Excuse me. There's crazy people everywhere outside my house with a bullhorn, and I haven't had any sleep. I'll see you, when I can. I mean, come on. I applaud their bravery. Mo says she hand out snacks and keep their mouths full so they couldn't yell. Mo, I can see you out there doing that, literally. I could see you outside doing that. And y'all know me. I've got some Xanax over here beside of me. I'd be going out there throwing Xanax in their mouth when they open their mouth up to scream. Like, here, you get a Xanax, you get a Xanax, you get a Xanax. Now take your happy butt home and go to sleep. Leave us alone. Irvin, how are you? I would, you see, boss. I'm not even kidding you. My husband had rotator cuff surgery, y'all, in June. He was in a car accident in April and tore his left rotator cuff, and he had to have surgery in June for it. He got a little bossy, as a patient, me trying to take care of him. I told him one night, I said, I gave him his pain medicine and his muscle relaxer, and he was still getting a little testy with me. I said, look, you got 5 minutes for that medicine to take effect. I'm fixing to add something else to the formula. And he said, what? I said, one of my Xanax, because you get on my last nerve. Either you need a Xanax or I do one. And then we both got tickled and started laughing. And finally, he just settled down enough and let his medicine take effect, and he went to sleep. He was fighting his medicine, y'all. It would not go to sleep and let his body heal. Yeah, throw them out like you're at New Orleans and you're at Mardi Gras. That's exactly right. You get a Xanax. You get a Xanax. You get a Xanax. Open your mouth and make sure you catch it because don't let them hit the ground. These things are too valuable to waste. If yours happens to hit the ground, pick it up, wipe it off on your pants leg. 3-second rule. It won't hurt anything. Pop that sucker in your mouth and go on. Y'all know I'm joking, right? I wouldn't really throw Xanax in someone's mouth. I'm just having some fun this morning. It's going to be all over YouTube. Case discussions threatening to throw drugs in people's mouths. Mo would go help them mow the yard and take out the trash. Oh my God, Mo. Then we'd all have to take up a collection to go get Mo out of jail. They would get Mo. They would get Mo for disturbing the peace. No, Mo, I'm joking. Anyone bothers you, Mo, I'm coming after them. I am coming to rescue Mo. Well, yeah, that's one way to take out the trash. All right, guys, but all seriousness, that's not gonna Capri. That is just fine. You take care of Jay. I didn't mean to interrupt else's life. You go. We're Mo's here, and I'm fine. You take care of Jay. I am good, girl. I am just fine. But what do y'all think? I mean, honestly, what do you think is it going to take to bring Brian out? I'm curious. What do people think? Okay, Capri, that's fine, girl. That is just fine. And if it gets too much, I'll zap you a message. Okay? But what do y'all think it's going to take to bring Brian out? Bingo, Renee. Bingo, 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 bingo. Renee is on it. Arrest the parents. You put mom and dad in jail for obstruction of justice, and that boy's going to start singing. Laws, I hope you're right. Court orders, you see, boss, you're on it. But I'm telling you, you put mom and dad out of commission where they can't, where he can't communicate to them, with him, or whatever, Brian will come out of hiding. That kid loves his parents. I'm telling you, take mom and dad out of the equation, and that kid's coming out. Thank you to the person that gave you a thumbs down. I give you a thumbs up. You're wonderful. Thank you. You do realize it's still interaction. Thumbs up, thumbs down, it's still interaction. I think they need to taunt him with the plastic free bottle company who wants him to represent Capri. That, hey, that could work. That could work. That could work. Feisty redhead? Exactly. Exactly. Mo, I have went back and forth on that because have you noticed how the sister has distanced herself from this situation? If that were my brother, I'd be at my parents' house every single day trying to find out what my dad knows, and I'd be trying to find out where my brother is. You don't see the sister. She says she doesn't know anything. Why is why is the sister trying to distance herself so much? Don't tell me she did not know Gabby. Gabby lived there. Gabby lived in the home with her parents, with Brian and his parents. So don't tell me that she didn't know Gabby. If she didn't know Gabby, what kind of relationship did she have with her parents? Because I can pretty much tell you who goes in and out of my dad's house. And no, I'm not nosy. My dad lives next door. But I'm just saying, what kind of relationship does she have with her parents if she doesn't know much about what's going on? Thank you to the second person who gave me a thumbs down. Thumbs up to you. Proud of you. You left your DNA all over my area. Thank you. Now, yeah, Laws, what I'm saying, she might not have known exactly where her brother is, but don't go acting like she didn't know that much about him and Gabby and all of that. But his parents 100% know where he is. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you? Thank you for being here. Y'all, give this video a thumbs up if you don't mind. I know most of you already have. Give it a thumbs up. If you can, share this out on your social media platforms if you have the opportunity to. Um, Subscribe if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it. Brian's parents had to know that Brian had mental issues. He'd start hearing voices in your head, and all of a sudden, so I don't know, so confusing times. Thank you, Laws. I appreciate that. Feisty redhead, exactly right. Exactly. Um, I know when I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, my parents knew pretty much before I did that I had an issue. And I'm not ashamed of my mental health issues, y'all. I'm not ashamed of them. I am treated for depression and anxiety. Take medicine every single day for them. But my parents knew pretty much from the get go that there was something not right. And they supported me in my decision in going to the doctor to receive treatment. So guys, I just want to give y'all a little, not that I think anyone here has an issue, but if you if you are battling depression or anxiety and think you have to be tough enough to handle it on your own, you don't. You don't have to be tough enough to handle it on your own. Go to the doctor. There are professionals who will help you. Go to the doctor. Renee, I say all the time, it's not the people who have a mental health problem that are the real issue. It's the people who have one and who live in denial about having it that are the problems because they're walking around unmedicated. Unmedicated people who go into a mental health crisis are extremely dangerous. And I'm afraid, honestly, I'm afraid that's what happened in this situation. You had you had a 23-year-old man, a 22-year-old woman who were thousands of miles away from their families, thousands of miles away from home, from either one of their homes, from her parents, from his parents. And if Gabby was OCD like she said in the one video, and if Brian had had issues that had not been treated by a professional, you had the making for a terrible disaster that just happened. Think the parents just told the sister not to answer questions about Brian. I I think the parents told the sister not to answer questions too. I'd be all over there. I'm telling you, I would be all over there in that business, finding out where my brother is, and what happened to the woman that was going to be my sister-in-law. Guys, my brother and his wife, one of my brothers and his first wife divorced 13 years ago. I'm still friends with her. I don't just cut my family off like that. I'm still friends with her. Thank you to all 11 people who have decided to give me a thumbs down this morning. God bless you all. I know where you came from, and you're not going anywhere. You're still watching. Exactly, Mo. Mom and dad told the sister that Brian is okay, or she would be worried too. You're exactly right, Mo. Exactly. And for the ones, excuse me, the ones that missed it yesterday, let's talk about the DNA that the police went back to the Landry's home to collect. I have been told they collected three articles of belongings that belong to Brian. Okay, three articles: a hairbrush, a razor, and a toothbrush. Good things to get DNA from. Why did they want his DNA? For Gabby's autopsy. Guys, they can't just have her body and say she was murdered or cause of death is homicide without being able to put him at the scene of the homicide. They have to be able to say his DNA is on her body, his DNA is under her fingernails, his DNA is on any injuries that she may have. They have to put him there for this to stick in court. They have to put him there. No, I'm not an attorney. I don't pretend to be an attorney. I don't have binders. I don't have any of that stuff. Um, Renee, some of it might be there, but deep in her thumbnails beds, why would his DNA be there? You know what I mean? Um, certain areas like that. Exactly, Mo. And also for evidence around her body, not just the crimes, not just the physical crime scene itself. Um, if if he placed her somewhere and hair fell off of him, DNA is left there. They want to be able to track that down and say he was here. Brian Landry was in this area. And I have a feeling, of course, I did not know Gabby. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting her. But I have the feeling that whatever happened, Gabby put up a fight. From what I can watch in the pictures and the videos and stuff. Okay, Laws. Um, but I have a feeling that Gabby put up a fight. Feisty redhead, that's exactly what I think. He wouldn't be hiding if he didn't have something to do with it. And if she has blood under her fingernails and nobody else is theirs, goes the stranger theory. Exactly. Exactly, Mo. Exactly. Now, on the flip side of it, okay, if they do they get his DNA and they test it and it's not his DNA on her, they're chasing the wrong person. So they want to prove A, who did this to her, and B, that they're looking for the right person. And guys, also yesterday, I don't know if y'all got to watch the part of her memorial service where her father and stepfather talked. But God bless those two men. God bless them. They stood there side by side, not in competition like a lot of step parents feel like that they have to be. They stood there side by side and said Gabby didn't have just two parents. Gabby had four parents that loved her. The stepfather talked about how hard he worked to provide for his family, all of his family. And Gabby's dad patted him on the back. She had four loving parents. Four. Not just a mom and dad and two step parents. Four loving parents. I want to explain something to y'all. It does not take DNA to make a parent. It doesn't. It does not take giving birth to someone to make a mother. It doesn't. It takes love and commitment. I know that the Utah police are under investigation for how they handled when Gabby and Brian were pulled over. I know they're under investigation for that. Um, because there had been 911 calls that said that Brian had slapped Gabby. But when they were stopped, Gabby was treated as the aggressor. Even the information on the the police report states Gabby as the aggressor. When I look at that picture of Gabby in the back of that police car, I don't see someone that's wanting to attack someone. I see someone that's scared. She's thousands of miles away from her family. She realizes the police are not paying attention to her and she doesn't know what's going to happen to her. So I hope that yes, their policies need to be changed and they need more training. I hope that this is a learning tool for this division of the police officers, and I hope that keeps this stops it from happening to someone else. Exactly, Feisty Redhead. See, Feisty Redhead says she's a step parent and she loves her stepdaughters just like they're her own. Feisty Redhead, my uncle and aunt raised me. My dad died when I was 5. My mother walked away when I was 8. My aunt and uncle raised me. It takes more than physically being responsible for creating a human being to being a parent. That, you know what I mean? It doesn't, you don't have to physically create someone to be their parent. Exactly, Mo. We can't help Gabby now except seeking justice for her and hopefully helping her get her story out to save others. If you are in a relationship that is toxic, that is leaving you wondering why I'm even here, is this going anywhere? Why does he or she treat me like this? I didn't deserve that hit. Why are they spending all of my money and I'm the one working? Um, if you're wondering any of those things, please talk to a friend, someone that you trust, and consider getting out of that relationship. Toxicity is never healthy. It's never healthy, guys. I think we've all saw that this week on YouTube. Toxicity is never healthy. Never healthy. There are things that you can do. There are people that will help you. But a toxic relationship of any kind is never healthy. Never. Yes, and if you're back and forth thinking your friends and family won't help you again, they will, I promise. Because your friends and family had rather help you right now than to help have to plan your funeral. I can promise you that. I had rather help my friend 3 times get out of a relationship and the third time be the charm than to have to help her family plan her funeral. I'm telling you, it's not healthy. Don't do it. I saw that Gabby's stepfather works at the funeral home that handled her arrangements. Can you imagine how he felt having to help plan the arrangements for his stepdaughter's or his daughter's funeral? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine having to plan the funeral of your daughter who was murdered? And I want to say this. I know when the cops told Brian they talked to Gabby, his demeanor got a bit tense. How could the cop exactly, feisty redhead, exactly? How could the cops not pick up these things? We all see it on TV. How could they not pick up these things? I've told you I'm a nurse. I was screaming at the TV. That woman's being abused. Get her away from him. He needs to go to jail for assault. He needs to be arrested for domestic violence. There's something going on there. Get her away from him. But instead they put him in a hotel room and sent her on her way in the van. Give me a break. And Brian, I know that you probably aren't watching this, but only cowards are act like you're acting like right now. Only cowards do that. Real men face any consequences, any actions that they have done, and the consequences for them. Real men step forward and face them. Even Chris Watts had the guts to stand up and tell the police officers in the police department that night, I murdered my wife. Even Chris Watts had the guts for that. He didn't go into hiding. Don't tell me that Chris Watts, who murdered his wife and 2 children, is a better man than you are. Please don't tell me that. Actually, he murdered his 3 children because Nico was a living human being in my eyes. Yes, he even chuckled. Yes. He said, "I hope she doesn't have anything bad to say about me," and chuckled. Come on. I like to make him chuckle. That was very inappropriate, feisty redhead. Very, very inappropriate. That cop should be reprimanded for saying that. That was very inappropriate. Very. One thing you're taught when you work with the public, you don't discuss your personal life with them. You don't do that. You don't mix the two. Your personal life stays your personal life. You don't mix the two. Or at least that's the way I was taught. Exactly, nurse. Nurse, exactly. Never once did it ever cross that cop's mind that those were defensive wounds. Because I can promise you, if my husband comes home from work right now and thinks his little scrawny butt is going to start attacking me, I'm going to fight him back with everything I've got in my body. Not that he's ever attacked me, but I'm just saying I'm going to. If my husband comes home from work right now and thinks he's going to bother me, He's got a fight on his hands. I would like to see the lady officer's body cam too, because usually in that situation, woman to woman, they will speak up more. I would like to see her body cam. I would like to see it. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it more than you will ever know. I don't know if she had a body cam either. I'm going to go back and rewatch the video and see. Um, oh, she was a park ranger. She wasn't actually a cop. Okay. I doubt she had a body cam then. Feisty redhead, I'm so sorry. Nurse double seven, I am so sorry for what you went through too. No, nobody should have to go through that. I'm thankful that my husband never laid his hands on me. Did we have disagreements? Exactly, we did. Who does it? I mean, we've been married for almost 26 years. You don't live with someone for 26 years without having disagreements. But he never laid his hands on me. Yes, that's what I mean. The park ranger's power is it has a limit to it, more of a limit to it. And I don't know if they wear body cams. I don't know. My son's friend is a park ranger, and I'm gonna have to ask him, does he wear body cams? Now, of course, he doesn't work in Utah. He works in Tennessee. But I'm gonna have to ask. I'm curious about that now. He'll probably think I'm funny if I text him or call him and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, when you go to work, do you wear a body cam?" You're welcome, Nurse 007. There's just no excuse for that. None. None at all. And I'll say this, touches a lot of us guys. When Gabby or we've been a Gabby or we know a Gabby, and it's sad that she didn't get out like us. Mojangles, exactly. Exactly, exactly, exactly. You know, Mo, you and I have talked about this, and I said this from day one. Gabby became our family for a week, but she will be in our hearts forever. Gabby is part of all of us now. Yeah. You don't, yeah, exactly. You could, I mean, common sense kicks in on some of this stuff. Even my husband, when we went back and rewatched some of the videos, he said somebody was bothering that woman. Why didn't the police pick that up? Somebody was bothering that woman. Of course, he doesn't get into as much true crime watching as I do, but every once in a while he'll watch a video or something with me. And he says that about her. He said, somebody was bothering that woman. Why did they not pick that up? Why did they not take care of that? And I just said, honey, I don't know. And I'm sorry, but I don't know. But guys, did you notice as soon as yeah, they were too busy trying to be friendly with him. Did y'all notice when she was in the back of the squad car, and as soon as that male cop said that about his ex-wife, Gabby demeanor instantly changed. You could see her literally shut down. I knew right then they weren't going to get anything else out of her. They were not going to help her. She shut down. And when you lose their trust, when someone's being abused like that and you lose their trust, you're not going to get it back. easily at all. And they lost her trust at that moment. Job for 9, I agree someone should have went to jail that day. But when you have a 911 call, 2 911 calls call in and say that they have just saw Brian assault Gabby, 2 911 calls say that. Independent callers, and they stayed back in enough time, long enough to fill out a report stating what they saw. 2 people say they saw him hit her. He should have went to jail. He should have went to jail. And in my opinion, that would have been Gabby's opportunity to call her parents and say, I need to come home. Help me come home. And I can tell her loving parents would have gotten her home. That's just my opinion, guys. I mean, no weapons, no cams, Kathy. Okay. I didn't think that they had a body cam. I didn't know. Now, the park rangers here that I know do carry firearms, because not necessarily for people. Oh, I understand what you're saying, job for 9. I get what you're saying. Hey, Christine, but the park rangers here in my state carry firearms, and it's not necessarily to protect themselves from people. It's because of the wildlife in our area. We have a lot of deer in our area, and they carry firearms in case someone hits a wildlife, and they have to, take care of the wildlife. And I'm trying to be as describe that as calmly as I can, or as gracefully as I can. Sorry, guys. You're a jail nurse, so you say, yeah. It's just sad that there were a lot of missed opportunities to help Gabby in that situation. And what scares me is other people who are in her situation are seeing this, and they are now afraid to speak out for fear they're going to end up the same way. Yeah. There were 2 911 calls, guys, saying, oh my God, Renee, I knew you were going to say that. Or someone was going to, Jimmy, I hit a deer. Renee, this is off subject, guys. Please forgive me, but I have to tell Renee something, okay? And the others who have followed this situation, guys, y'all have to go watch BX Beast Boy, okay? Y'all have to. His last video, he turned on MRB, okay? He plainly told MRB, I don't work for you. I loved it. I've watched bits and pieces of it because it's like an hour long video. But yeah, he turned on MRB. Y'all got to go watch that. Oh, Charlene, I am so sorry. See, I don't understand people who don't want their significant other to have friends. I do not understand that. I'm gonna tell y'all something, okay? My husband is a supervisor at where he works at. He has female friends. He has female phone numbers saved in his phone. I also have their numbers, the female coworkers saved in my phone. Very not that it will ever, but I hope the family sues out of every one of the police departments, the scumbag lawyer of his parents. Yes, Nurse 007. Yes, yes, yes. Amen. Every bit of that and more. Every bit of that and more. Then job for nine, then there was a breakdown in 911 communications, if that's the case. Because, like where I live at, and I know 911 communicators, okay? When they get a 911 call, they're literally typing in what is being said as they are immediately dispatching police out. So, if it didn't get relayed, then there's someone else for Gabby's parents to go after. Oh my God, she was only 16 and it was control freak and jealous. Oh my God, everybody knows a 16-year-old girl is going to have friends. A 16-year-old boy is going to have friends. Christine, that's what I was going to say. My husband's coworkers, they have his number, he has theirs. Heck, I even have his boss, who's a male. I even have his cell phone number saved in my phone. I've texted his boss before. My husband doesn't think anything of it. I mean, it's just life. We are friends with other people. Charlotte, I am so so sorry. That is just terrible. Um, you know, Christmas time, those women that my husband works with will usually text me and say, "We're thinking about X, Y, and Z for a Christmas gift. What do you think?" Do you think I get jealous that another woman is thinking about what to buy my husband for Christmas? No, I don't. Because I take it that they value my husband and they appreciate what he does for them the other days of the year. And if they want to buy my husband a Christmas present as a thank you, I'm all for it. Buy him a Christmas present. We buy breakfast for them. I carry it out there. I help set it up as a thank you to his people in his department for being good employees for my husband. Charlene, I am so sorry that I mean it's hit hard, but I can't imagine how hard it's hit you going through that with your friend. I can't imagine. Just know that there are people out there who care about you, and if you need to talk, there are lots of us here to listen. My email is always being posted in here. It's mycasediscussion@gmail.com. Email me. I'll be happy to talk to you. Just don't keep it bottled up inside. Don't keep it bottled up inside. And guys, I'll tell you, I've had to talk to people about what's been happening. Yesterday, when I played the video of Gabby's dad speaking, it's a good thing that my microphone had to be muted for the audio to play because I was sobbing like a baby. It didn't have to be this way. It didn't have to be this way. Exactly, Nurse 007. Exactly. But guys, it did not have to be this way. It didn't. Gabby could be home with her parents who love her, who cared about her, who wanted the best for her. Brian could be home with his mother, making his breakfast, doing whatever she does for him. They could have just, he could have let Gabby go and they could have went their separate ways. It didn't have to end like this. Yes, she was let down, Nurse 007, in countless ways. Countless ways. To be honest, Nurse 007, I'm scared to sit down and start from the beginning and count how many ways. And okay, Fossy Redhead, I'm scared to sit down and count, write it out and count how many ways Gabby was actually let down. I'm actually scared to do it because there were plenty of opportunities for people to step in and say, no, not on my watch. This is not happening. Oh, Mo, you're fine. You got it, girl. You got it. You know what I mean? There were plenty of opportunities for people to step in and say, not on my watch. This is not going to happen. Gabby, give me your parents' phone number. Let me call them for you. Let me get you help. Let me take you to a shelter. Let me take you to get a restraining order. Although I know a restraining order is just a piece of paper in a lot of states, I understand that. But there were plenty of opportunities for people to help this young woman. Plenty of opportunities. And guys, I hope that we all, taking back the Chief Ranger. Oh, Kathy, it's okay. It is okay. I saw the dad of the two women shot. It was heartbreaking. I hope someone takes their case up. I do too, Christine. I do too. Those cops right there, if that's the best that they can do, look, I love law enforcement. Everybody should know that that nurses and cops don't usually say anything and alt against each other. We just don't usually do that. But if that's the best those cops can do, they need to think of another career field. Charlene, Mojangles, exactly. If they lived with his parents for 2 years, his parents knew the disagreements and things that they had. You're exactly right. Now, guys, I'll admit to you, I have a temper. I have a bad temper. When you make me mad, you better just leave me alone for a little while. And when Charlene said that, my father in law used to make comments like that a lot about me. That if there ever were to be a domestic situation in our household, it wouldn't be his son that he would be worried about being the aggressor. It would be me because I have a temper. But I never once thought about hitting my husband. I will stand up for myself. I never one time thought about laying hands on my husband or telling him what he could or could not do. Not one time. But I will stand up for what is right. I can promise you that. I will stand up for me and mine and what is right. I will stand up for my friends in a New York minute if you stand up, if you truly have my back. I don't see how his family could not have lived with them for 2 years and not saw how their son was or how their relationship was. I don't see how they lived with them for 2 years. I hope they are closing in on Brian. I hope that they are. And I'll be honest with you, I hope Dog the Bounty Hunter catches Brian because of all the naysayers who said Dog couldn't do it. Dog shouldn't be there. Dog is there for clout. Whatever. I hope Dog the Bounty Hunter catches him. No disrespect to the cops there. No disrespect to the cops. But I do. I hope Dog catches him. Good morning, Breezy. How are you? I hope Dog gets to give him the speech. Do you guys know that Dog left his honeymoon to come there to when he was contacted? And I know who contacted Dog, but Dog and his wife left their honeymoon to go to Brian's house, to knock on that door, to try to talk to his parents to find out where Brian was. I applaud Dog. I know there are mixed feelings about that, but I do. I applaud him. And y'all, for y'all new people here, please forgive my southern accent, and sometimes I have a little trouble pronouncing words, but that's okay. I still get it done. Yes, I want him found alive so that he can spend every single day in prison regretting the decision that he made, just like Chris Watts is doing. I want him to have to face Gabby's parents in court and let them tell him just what a scumbag he is. It was disgusting, Eric. It was disgusting. Set him up in a hotel. Yeah. I wonder if they didn't take him out to dinner. Did you also hear that the cop asked if they could also, give her a hotel room? Because she was upset and everything, and she was denied a hotel room. But 911 calls had been called in. Two of them had been called in that he was hitting her, and he gets a hotel room for the night. I swear I'm living in the twilight zone. I swear I am. This cannot be the real USA. This can't be. Yes, Dog was in Florida on his honeymoon. He was. And he left. They cut their honeymoon, some time out of their honeymoon, and went there trying to help find Brian. Sure did. Be safe, Capri. But I applaud Dog for doing it. I do, guys. Yesterday, guys, I said that I was going to be cautious about going live. Try to be out of respect because it was Gabby's memorial. Oh, Capri. I remember those days. Oh my goodness. My boys were 2.5 years difference in ages. They literally fought about where they were going to sit in the car. They literally fought about who was going to sit where on the couch to put their shoes on. They fought about everything. Charlene, yes, that would be perfect. Let each one of her dads have time alone with him. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my goodness. Because you told her to grab a jacket. I'm so sorry, Capri. That's not fun. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you having to go through it, but I remember those days. And they were some very, very long days. Like I said, both of mine are boys. Joey Wortham. He was on the run for years after killing his girlfriend and son. The grandmother didn't even get to make an impact statement. That's terrible, Mo. That is terrible. Capri, my boys would literally be sitting on the couch, putting their shoes on and screaming dibs for who was going to ride in the front seat of the car on the way to school. Oh, I loved school drop off days. Have a good day, Capri. Be safe. Thank you for all you do. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. And when we were having extra fun times in the mornings, they'd even go ahead and call dibs for who. You're welcome, Capri. They'd go ahead and call dibs for who was going to ride in the car when I picked them up in the afternoons. First thing in the mornings. Brian reminds me of that dude. I hope it doesn't take a year to catch him either. No, Charlene, Brian is not in that reserve. The police are wasting money in that reserve. Did y'all hear that Brian lived off grid in the Appalachian Mountains for 3 months? One time. He's used to living off grid, guys. And think about this. If he were in that reserve, if he were truly in that reserve, why would his mom go and get his car and bring it back home? Why would you do that? Why would you go get your son's car and bring it back home if that's where he was truly, truly at? Why would you do that? Hmm? Because he ain't there. He's not there. You're wasting money. You're wasting taxpayers' dollars looking for him there. Did y'all see the report on, I believe it was on Fox News, that if it's proven that Brian's parents have been lying about this, that they could owe the state of Florida $1.2 million for searching for Brian? Yeah, that's going to hurt a pocketbook. And I know that they say their net worth is $5 million. If I were his sister, I would be over there to my parents' house saying, "What are you doing? Tell the police where he's at before you lose everything, including your house." Yeah, they have put the police in very, very grave danger. And the FBI, the police, they put them in danger. They have sent them into places that they did not need to be to look for him. You spelt that right, Christine. Charlene, girl, I wish I could see him for 5 minutes. Guys, I've got one little thing that I wanna ask you guys about, okay? It's a little info for me that I need to ask some people about some things, okay? If you know anything about promoting a, YouTube channel or growing a YouTube channel, would you kindly email me? Hey, Irvin. If you know anything about promoting a YouTube channel or growing a YouTube channel, please email me. mycasediscussion@gmail.com. Dog's daughter asked for a tracker. I pray y'all do not understand. I pray that dog catches him. I do. I pray it with all of my heart that Dog the Bounty Hunter is the one that catches him. No, no, no. I just got a couple of questions to ask about Irvin. It's nothing like that. Irvin, I've just got a couple of questions that I want to ask. No, it's nothing like that. I don't want to grow too fast. No. I just got a couple of questions. Just a second, guys. I'm answering my son's text message. Sorry. All right. My 24-year-old is in his first wedding. No, 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 Irvin, it's okay. No, you didn't know why I was asking. That's a little bit question I want to ask. My 24-year-old is a best man in a wedding this weekend, and it's his first wedding, and he's a little anxious about it. No, I'm sorry, it's not this weekend, it's next weekend. But he's a little anxious about it, and he's asking me all kinds of questions. So sorry about that. Peaks Appalachian Trails peak season right now. The nights get cold. Don't think he will be prepared for winter. Guys, I'm going to tell you, okay? I absolutely love I'm off now, got to go shopping. All right, Lods, thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi and participating in the chat. I hope you have a great day. Be safe. Come back and join us. Good morning, Christy. Oh, Christy, I had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. Because I'm from Tennessee, okay? I live in Tennessee. Um, Appalachian Mountains, they go on up and kind of they connect with Great Smoky Mountains, all that. I go there a lot. This time of the year, the leaves are really starting to change. Um, and in a couple weeks, they'll be changing even more. It gets really, really cold up there, really, really fast, really fast, dude. You're gonna realize real quick you're not in Florida anymore. Nurse 007, exactly. I can't watch it either. I can't watch it anymore either. They remind me of like a Barney Fife type cop. I mean, I wonder if they remembered to put their bullet in their gun when they got out of their car. Seriously. Ginseng and moonshine hunters? Yes. And it's almost deer season. Oh, let me tell y'all something. These Tennessee people up in here and the people in Georgia going deer hunting. If they see him and realize who he is, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them don't think that they're shooting at a deer. If you get my point. Charlene, I did read a report, and please forgive me. I have it written down in my notebook. I will have to go back through the notebook and find where I read the report at. That they were at one time. He and Gabby were at the same bar those two women were at. Mojangles, ginseng, and mushroom hunters. Y'all do realize that a ginseng hunter is who found Holly Bobo from Tennessee that was missing. Holly was missing for 3 years, and they found her skull when they were ginseng hunting. Holly disappeared about 40 miles from my house that I lived in at the time. But now I did hear, but again, police, I'm kind of wondering about the police in this situation, okay? Especially the police in Utah. But I did hear that they do not think that Gabby's murder and those two women's murder are connected. I think today I'm going to do more research on that and just see where that goes. But I've got a couple things I need to do in the house, but I do think I will do some research on it and just see where it leads. But by preliminary research that I did, um, wait a minute. Hey, can y'all hear this? Okay, Fox News was just doing a story on Gabby, and I was trying on the TV, and I was trying to catch it. I'm just updating my Twitter feed to see if there have been any updates or anything, guys, that we can talk about. But I do want to say, guys, talking about the people outside the Landry home with bullhorns. Those people are going to be lucky if they don't end up with a restraining order against them by the neighbors, because your home is your safe place. Your home is your place to go and rest. You know what I mean? And right now, their life is being invaded. Bullhorns outside of their house is not the way to go. Irvin, you may be onto something. You may be. But I will do some Mojangles, I'm gonna message you in a little while. I know you and your research girl. We'll work on this today. How about that? Because it's I'm not sure if Gomer Pyle and Barney Fife investigated that enough. I'm sorry, guys, that was ugly. I mean, no disrespect to any cops. I really do not. I am friends with cops. Uh, I have our county sheriff's wife and I graduated from high school together. I have his cell phone number. I trust cops. You know what I mean? Oh, Mo, I love my new computer. I love it. The first one that we bought, my husband went and picked it up. Y'all, we only have one store in the little area that I live in that sells any type of electronics, okay? And that's Walmart. So I found the one I thought I wanted online at Walmart and I purchased it. My husband went to pick it up for me because I'm trying to avoid getting out in public very much, to avoid COVID because I have underlying health issues. But anyway, so we get it home. For 24 hours, guys, I worked trying to get it to connect to Wi Fi. I finally got it to connect to Wi Fi and I walked away to pick something up and I came back and it disconnected and would not reconnect. So we had to take it back. So um, my husband and I made the decision that I would get ready and go with him that time. And I double masked and everything and went in and I actually found a better one that they had in the store than what I had purchased previously. This one has like the 8 GBs or whatever. It's 17-inch screen. It's made for gaming and for live streaming. I'm very proud of it. I love it. My parents don't deserve his parents don't deserve a moment of peace. But they don't, but not the bullhorns. I say not the bullhorns, not for the parents, but not for the neighbors that have to live beside of them. That's what I mean. If the parents lived out in a remote area where there weren't any neighbors, be out there with all the bullhorns you want to be out there with. But those people who live next door to the parents didn't do anything wrong. Let them live in peace. And I have a feeling that that those neighbors are going to put a stop to that eventually. Because in my eyes, again, I'm not a cop. Don't pretend to be a cop. Don't pretend to be a lawyer. They are disturbing the police. I mean the peace. Yes, Charlene. See, you know what I mean. Nurses and cops go hand in hand usually. How the Anthony's handle the protesters. Mojangles. I think they basically just went inside. I think the police were called a lot. I'm not really sure either exactly how it was all handled. Even I mean like legally, I'm not sure, but the neighbors, the innocent neighbors caught up in this, they don't deserve this, guys. They don't. Nurse 007, I see it. I've commented every time that you've said it. I said, I can't watch the body cam footage either. I can't anymore. I watched it several times trying to pick up clues. I can't watch it anymore. But sweetie, I did. I was commenting on it. I was just double checking to make sure I hadn't missed anything. Charlene, yeah, but you gotta understand though. Yeah, Nurse 007. I honestly, sweetie, I did see your comments and I did respond. I hope you don't think that I was ignoring you because I'm not like that at all. At all, I'm not like that. Charlene, I see what you're saying that you would be out there with the protesters, but you've got to remember some of these people may have uh, small children. They may have babies. And as a mother, I would not want my child woke up every morning to a bullhorn. Imagine if these neighbors have children that have to go to school. We are taught to start our child's day off as calmly as possible. Don't raise our voice to them at all, if possible at all, before taking them to school. Can you imagine your child having to hear someone outside their home with a bullhorn every morning, and then you have to take them to school for them to try to take a test or to get an education or to do whatever they need to do at school? Yes. If anyone thinks that I missed your comment, feel free to to let Mo know. Mo has my cell phone number and my messenger information. She has texted me before to make sure if I saw a comment. Oh, I loved hearing dog pound on the door. But yeah, his mother called 911 when dog was knocking on the door. Ma'am, you're going to call 911 for Dog the Bounty Hunter knocking on your door to find out try to help find out where your son is. But you helped hide your son when your future daughter-in-law went missing. What kind of woman are you? Feisty redhead? She didn't want him there. It was getting too close for comfort. She did not want him there. She didn't want to talk to him. She didn't want any part of it. He was too close for her comfort. Can you imagine if you were in that situation and Dog, the bounty hunter Chapman, is knocking on your door wanting information? The parents don't want him found. You're exactly right, Feisty Redhead. They do not want him found. They keep, and I'm tired of people, other channels and stuff saying Brian is missing. Brian is not missing. Brian is hiding. Brian is running from the police. Mo does an excellent job keeping on top of things. I'm so proud to have Mo as one of my mods. I am very proud to have her. She has literally texted me before and said, "Did you see this comment? Or did you see what this person was saying to you?" You know, because it's easy sometimes if you have a lot of people in chat to miss something. Charlene, exactly. If your son was truly quote unquote missing, you won't help finding him. She don't want dogs help because he's not missing. If dog's on the scene, she knows that's another trained professional that's going to be on the trail of her son. You do a great job, Mo. Honestly, I didn't know this was the first time you've been a moderator. You do a great job. And I'll just give y'all a little heads up. Last night, uh, Crafted and Kim had all that going on in their chat, and Crafted asked me if he could give me a wrench for a little while just in case things got crazy. And I said, sure. I don't see how y'all do it. Cause I was like almost hitting buttons and everything else. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna get in trouble for like, not get in trouble, but like time somebody out wrong or put the wrong person in block mode or whatever. Yeah, exactly, feisty redhead. There would be no sleep if my child was really missing. I would do everything. If my son was missing and Dog the bounty hunter knocked on my door, if my child was really missing, I would open the door, let him in, make him lunch, and say, okay, what are we going to do to find my child? Not call the police on him. Come on. And I want to say something else. Last night I did Kathy, me and you both, girl, me and you both. Last night sometime yesterday, someone came into one of my chats and said something about Dog and his criminal history. You guys realize Dog's criminal history was in 19, I believe, 71. He paid his dues. He paid his dues to society. So I'm telling y'all right now, I don't want that brought up in my chats. He's paid his dues to society. He's a productive member of society. He's not out committing crimes. So, and I kindly ask that person not to discuss that in my chats. We've all got things in our past that we don't want brought up. Just remember that. I've done things I'm not proud of. Irvin, I get why, in a way, why they are protecting him, but also as a parent, they need to realize they're hurting him in the long run. They're hurting themselves in the long run because when the police prove that they knew where he was at the whole time, they're going to owe the state of Florida at least $1.2 million. Yes, feisty redhead. Exactly. Exactly. And I will say this, guys, about Mo. Mo has texted me after a chat and said, I read X, Y, and Z as this, or called me and said, I read X, Y, and Z as this. This is why I put this person in timeout, or this is why I blocked them. I just wanted you to know in case I misread it. Charlene, I think I'm with you. I think both of my boys, like I said, they're 21, and my oldest will be 24 in November. If they came home, if they went on a vacation or month long trip, whatever you want to call what they did, and they came home without their girlfriend, and wouldn't tell me where their girlfriend was at, or didn't have a logical explanation that could be verified where their girlfriend was at, I'd be the first one calling the police. Whatever you do, it's for the best for your kids, and can't get mad at it either. You're right, Irvin. Everyone wants to do the best that they absolutely can for their kids. But, at the same time, Irvin, you can't you can't do something that's going to cause you to lose your liberty either in the process of protecting your children. You can't do that. You can't do something that could potentially bankrupt you, because that $1.2 million figure was Saturday. At the time, I read a report that said this search is costing $200,000 a day to search for someone that is hiding on his own. $200,000 a day. That's $200,000 a day that the taxpayers are having to pay because mommy and daddy helped their son go into hiding. Think about how much. Irvin, I respect you for it. I mean, I'm just saying, but think about how much money, how many homes $1.2 million would buy for homeless people, for veterans who don't have a place to live. Think about that. And all because mommy and daddy are hiding their son. That's what I think, Mojangles. As a parent, I would hope you would also think about how her family, this is affecting her parents, her family, her friends, her loved ones. They know they're never going to see Gabby again this side of heaven. Yes, Nurse 007, yes, they should be under investigation. Irvin, you're exactly right. Exactly. Feisty redhead, exactly. Tough love is still love. Love is hard. My parents gave me some tough love. It was hard. It was hard on us both. But I thank them for it, and I thank them for it today, and I still thank them for it because it forced me to grow up. Nurse 007, that's exactly right. She came from an all around loving family, and that was taken away from them. And everyone, the police officers, highway patrolmen, whoever encountered them and did not protect Gabby needs to be held responsible. Mojangles, the source that I talked to would say that you're exactly right. The DNA collection is getting us closer to a murder charge. Irvin, I wished I knew. I wish that I knew. But unfortunately, sometimes that's just the way it happens. And it's sad because everything that I can see about Gabby and read about Gabby, she had a beautiful life. A beautiful life. She had dreams and aspirations, and she was doing things that most people her age only wish that they could do. She was traveling places before she settled down and had a family. She was seeing the world. Heck, I wish I could take a trip like that out west. I've talked about it for years. It's just never worked out. But she did it. Oh my goodness, spicy redhead. Yeah. Sounds like something I would do. Christine, I don't think Brian will talk even when they arrest him. I don't. Nurse 007, you're exactly right. She was young and loved him more than she loved herself. But Feisty Redhead, you taught your girls a very valuable lesson. You know, a lot of parents would have just said, oh, it's just a couple pieces of candy. The store will never miss it. I would have done the same thing, Feisty Redhead. My children would have been right back into that store and made to tell what they did. They might not have talked to me for a week. They still would have done it. All right, guys. I'm going to get off for a little while. I've got a couple of things that I need to do here in the house. Uh, um, get things ready for the week. Her dad says she loved everybody, always smiling. And Charlene, I can see that. Wait a minute. Nurse 007, you don't hear me reading? You don't hear me reading your comments? Wait a minute, guys. Wait, 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 wait. I, I just want to make sure that she doesn't. I don't want Nurse 007 to leave here thinking that I ignored her because I'm not like that, guys. That would hurt my heart if she thought that I ignored her. I don't know what's wrong with YouTube, if something's wrong with YouTube today or what. Yeah, I never did anything illegal either, Charlene, but I was a brat. Oh, Urban, that's right. Make sure that she's on top chat and not yes. But I was a brat and I had to be taught some lessons. And fortunately, my parents did not care to teach me those lessons. Okay, guys. I love you all so much. I thank each and every one of you for being here. Um, yeah, does it say live or Mo? Tell her that. Wait, I'll type it out. Yeah, guys. Sometimes if you have buffered or anything, um, yeah, email me. Okay, let's give Nurse 007 a chance to come back in. Let her go out and come back in and let's see. Let her get caught up. Let's make sure what's going on with her before I leave. Okay, I see you're back, Nurse 007. Do you hear me now? Responding to you? Good, Nurse 007. Honey, I honestly think it was just a glitch. I promise you, I was responding to you. I would never ignore someone like that and I would never ignore someone. I'm not like that. All right, everybody, have a great day. I will be back most likely after lunch. Um, I've got to do some things in my house, get things ready for the week, and then I'm going to do some research on those two murdered women. some more research. I did a little bit already, but I want to look back at that again. But I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. And I will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.